getting ready to start my trip. First I'm flying to El Salvador and back, and then I'll move on to Charlotte. Today I am flying as flight attendant number 2. So I'm in the galley. Now I need to set up my carts and get everything situated. In El Salvador now, loading up passengers, finished getting my galley ready, getting ready to head back to Miami. Here I am. I've made it to Charlotte, North Carolina. My contacts are super itchy. Not itchy, what's the word I mean? They're starting to burn because I think that I've just been wearing them too long now. But I'm here in Charlotte. Let's do a room tour and then we'll do the debrief. Okay, so we have the front door, the bath, the bathroom. Some little hooks. Bed, beds, plural, and that's the room. So my workday started at 9:25 this morning and it is now 10:54 p.m. So that gives you an idea of how long I've been on the clock. I flew from Miami to El Salvador, then San Salvador back to Miami, and then Miami to Charlotte. I flew as the number 2 flight attendant, so on the Boeing 737, so I was in charge of the galley and getting the carts ready for service. I set my cookies on a tray, and I'll post a little picture right there, probably right here. The way I stack my carts is I do ice and then I put my cookies and I pack them in that way because it saves me space in the rest of the cart, because I like to do 2 soda inserts, 2 drawers of sodas, because we run out of those, and it's just very handy when you're one of those flight attendants on the cart and you have 2 soda drawers to pick from. It just makes things go faster. So that's how I like to set up my cart. So I do ice, I do cookies, and then I do soda, and then the mixers, like the drawer with tonic water, club soda, LaCroix, various juices, Bloody Mary mix. And then under that is an extra tray of sodas. And then on the cart that goes out, there's on one side they have the beer and the wine, the chilled wine, and on the other side they have the red wine and they have the minis. So that's how I set up my cart. But being the number 2 position used to stress me out, and it kind of still does, because I think about what I have to do, and I always wonder whether I'm going to have enough time. Because you have to set up the 2 carts, you have to get the topper set up. I set up my coffee pot, I preload that with coffee, I preload the other pot with tea bags to brew tea, and it's more of like a mind game that I think that I psych myself out, like, oh my god, am I gonna be able to get it done? But my goal is to just be number 2 over and over and over again, until I learn to love that position and I get my system down. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll move on to doing number 1 like that, because number 1, haven't been number 1 in a long time. It's just a lot of responsibility with that role, so I choose not to fly it. So yeah, I get stressed out sometimes when I have to be in the galley, but I'm going to learn how to master it. That's going to be my cure on how to fix that. Since this was an international flight, I got in the habit of sealing and locking the liquor cabinets. So right before we landed, I did lock up our liquor cabinets, because then once in El Salvador, then security comes through and they do a whole sweep of the airplane. And certain places like London, you have to lock up your cards, but you also have to put together like a spreadsheet of what was left. You have to count all the wine, all the beer, all the minis. You have to count everything. That's a big, long process. I was a number 2 once on a London trip, and that stressed me the heck out. But afterwards, I was like, it wasn't so bad. Flight time was 2 hours and 10 minutes from Miami to San Salvador, and we had clear skies. Our flight was delayed leaving Miami, and that was because the airplane we were supposed to use was taken out of service for some reason. And then the next plane that was available for us to use was coming from Boston, so we had to wait for that plane to land. So we were about an hour delayed. We had 6 unaccompanied minors on our flight to San Salvador, so we had to do a special briefing for them, special set of instructions, we just take some time and go over a bunch of like safety things with them. Your Spanish word of the day, tripulante. That's how you say flight attendant in Spanish. And I'll put the word right here, tripulante, 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 tripulante. This ear is like blocked. I had a cold earlier in the week, just like a hint of a cold. Like I woke up one morning feeling like a little bit off, but I didn't take any medicine. I didn't do anything. It felt fine, but I guess I did have a lingering cold because now this ear is plugged. Anyways, I'll continue on. I got to fly over the Caribbean today. Got to see the beautiful turquoise water, and that always makes me happy because that's like just gorgeous. Every time you fly over, it's just one of nature's wonders, and it is really nice. What else? In first class, they served salads, like a vegetarian salad, and then they served chicken enchiladas, and I'll post a picture of the chicken enchiladas right here because they're actually really good. I've tried them before. It was bumpy for a few minutes, and the captain had us sit down on the way to San Salvador, and it was bumpy on the way back to Miami because we went through a storm. Let's see, and I guess the highlight was I got to see the sunset. I got to see the sunset from the airplane at 35,000 feet or however high I was flying. So that's it. That's all. That's what my day was. That's my debrief. Now it is 11:01 p.m. I'm going to put on pajamas. I'm going to take off this makeup, and I'm going to maybe take a decongestant for my ear, and hopefully that will heal itself by tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to, I do a Fort Myers turn, and then I go over to San Juan, Puerto Rico. So, and that hotel is nice. This hotel gives us free breakfast too. I don't know if I want to wake up that early. Pickup time tomorrow is at noon, so that's not bad. But yeah, that's it. I'll go ahead and wrap it up now. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And to see new videos, if you have not yet subscribed, then please subscribe to my channel right there. Alright guys, until next time, bye!